We are finalising terms for Akhmadaliev to fight Inoue in September because he's been ordered to fight Akhmadaliev for the title and he'll be stripped if he doesn't. We've agreed terms. We now wait to sign a contract if we haven't done yet.
It's about to go down.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy Dr. Boxing Talk, back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes sir, yes ma'am. I don't know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man, so check this out. This upcoming May 4th, good Lord willing, we're going to see Naoya Inoue, the monster Inoue, take over Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States of America against Ramon Cardenas, man. Yeah, man, he's coming to the States, baby. So a lot of people that haven't seen him before because they don't like to wake up early in the crack of dawn like we do, you know what I'm saying, to watch the fights everywhere, you know, they're going to get a chance to see him live and in color. You know, for a lot of people, it'll be the first time to see, you know, a top pound for pound talent. That's dope, man. But after that is the fight that I want to focus on today in this video. And that fight is potentially going to be against MJ Akhmadaliev, who is the WBA mandatory, and he's been that way for quite some time now. Now, as you know, I talked about this a long time ago, right? I think about a couple months ago when I was speaking on, you know, MJ Akhmadaliev and Naoya Inoue could be finalizing a deal to fight in September in Japan. You know, well, now Eddie Hearn has came and gave us an update and said this.
With Cardenas, can only be for undisputed if we allow it. Because he's been ordered to fight Akhmadaliev for the title and he'll be stripped if he doesn't.
So as you can see, the deal is not signed yet, so it's not completely finalized. However, it looks like it's coming into fruition. Now, I do think Eddie Hearn was, you know what I'm saying, stretching it a little bit, talking about it's only going to be undisputed if they let it. But technically he's right, because the WBA, you know, who's the president is Gilberto Mendoza Jr. They've actually came out and said that, yeah, man, we cannot keep affording Naoya Inoue these reasons and excuses not to fight MJ Akhmadaliev, and to keep pushing him to the side and being very dismissive of him. Now, you know, there are some people who know that Ramon Cardenas was a replacement, right? So a lot of people said, oh, how come MJ Akhmadaliev, he's been calling out Inoue for so long, how come he didn't just step in as a replacement for Ramon Cardenas?
You dumbass.
Slow your roll, little buddy. Now, if you remember, like I do, because like I told you, I dropped this video a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, or maybe about a month and a half, something like that, about this whole situation. So now Inoue was initially supposed to fight David Allen Picasso Ramiro, you know, the undefeated Mexican champion, right? Contender, excuse me, the #1 contender coming out of Mexico for the WBC belt, right? Well, he pulled out because initially he was supposed to fight him in Vegas, but he pulled out, citing some differences in the contract negotiations that, you know, just didn't please him enough to go forward with the fight. So a lot of people are advocating that MJ Akhmadaliev be a replacement, right? Well, if you notice by this article date, yeah, you see that happened at the end of February. And you want MJ Akhmadaliev to step in for a fight at the beginning of May? Like, let's be real here, right? These fighters are not just sitting around waiting on Naoya Inoue to call them and then they get ready to fight because they've been ready the whole time. No, they live their lives, right? What if he's planning for a baby or something like that? Yeah. You know, what if he's gone with his family handling business or maybe other businesses that he's attended to? Yeah. Hell, what if he's just in the Cayman Islands with a cutie rubbing on some booty?
What do you mean by that?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing. He could be doing anything. But the point is that if I'm waiting for a fight of this magnitude, a fight that I've been calling for the longest, you better believe I'm going to take full advantage of my opportunity to put myself in the best position to win. And that starts off with an adequate amount of time to dedicate for my preparation. And you know, well, those of you that pay attention to boxing, that a normal traditional training camp is anywhere between 10 to 12 weeks and sometimes more, you know? So if he got the call for at the beginning of March, then the fight in May, that's only 2 months, which is 8 weeks. Yeah. So that's a significantly lower amount of time that I have to adequately prepare for a fight that I consider my dream fight, right? Case in point, right? Let's look at Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford is planning to fight Cinnamon, the face of boxing, in September. He's known about this now. So he has, you know what I'm saying, a lot of time to prepare, and he's given himself the best opportunity to take full advantage of the fight that he's been wanting for this long time. Why would you put yourself in a position to be short-handed or short-changed, you know? So you're not going to put yourself in a position to be handicapped. I think the people that are screaming, oh, MJ Akhmadaliev could have been a replacement, you're just dumb. Why would he put himself in a disadvantageous position? And to me, it sounds like if you're advocating for a fighter or any fighter to do that, it seems like you're scared for Naoya Inoue. Like, I think Naoya Inoue would beat MJ Akhmadaliev, but that doesn't change the fact that MJ Akhmadaliev deserves the opportunity at the belt, and he deserves a full opportunity to prepare and negotiate and do everything that every other fighter gets when they're going for a big life-changing title opportunity that they deserve, you know. So I think anybody saying that MJ Akhmadaliev dropped the ball by not stepping in as a replacement on late notice, I think you're just utterly ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion on that. But now hopefully he gets the fight. But of course, you know, hopefully Naoya Inoue is not overlooking Ramon Cardenas, because, you know, I think Naoya Inoue would beat Ramon Cardenas as well. But he is a fighter that's riding some momentum right now, and he's going to come to fight for real, man. He has something to prove, just like most fighters do when they're coming off of pro boxing. He's a pro box fighter. So, you know, I don't think Naoya Inoue is going to look over him. He's a consummate professional. But, you know, when you schedule the fight ahead of time, it can be seen as extra motivation for the opponent. But I do think Naoya Inoue is going to beat Ramon Cardenas. I think Naoya Inoue and MJ Akhmadaliev is a very good fight, and I hope this fight actually comes into fruition, you know, in September, good Lord willing. And apparently that's what Eddie Hearn is saying. You know, we already dropped this information back then, but now we got to update where it's closer to becoming finalized. And, you know, they agreed to terms verbally. They're just waiting to sign on that dotted line, baby. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Do you think the fight actually happens in September? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think MJ Akhmadaliev should have stepped in on late notice and fought in May, even though he wouldn't have had a full amount of time to dedicate to training camp? Do you not care about preparation? You let me know what y'all think about that, man. But most importantly, don't forget to smack that like button. But even more important than that, even more importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.